Hi everybody, this is Miss Wilson, and I was reading over the surveys and I had seen that someone had mentioned that, oh, they wish they would have been there the other day when we were talking about the radiology content in the review areas. So I'm going to just kind of show you this little how to activate everything. You're in your D2L and you're going to scroll to your weekly assignments and open week 8. And you see that you have the UNC at Chapel Hill Dental School website right here. Just activate that link and it brings you to their homepage that Dr. John Ludlow has created for the Dental Diagnostic Sciences Department, basically. You'll notice also that these are links here. This one's purple because I activated it a while ago, but typically it is blue when you start. The buccal object rule is a complicated rule, so we're not going to spend much time on that until you actually get to apply it. And most important about this is that typically nowadays we don't do this so much because we do have cone beam technology that isolates objects from which side, and anytime there's any surgery that would be involved from a radiological evaluation aspect, it would be that a patient would receive a cone beam x-ray to determine its exact location. So we're going to really focus on the normal radiographic anatomy. So click on that link and it takes you to periapical projections and panoramic projections. The significance of these are that it does isolate the two for you so that you get more familiar with anatomy that should be present in a particular image. So we're going to start with the normal anatomy of periapical projections. Activate that link, and basically what happens here is just giving you a bunch of information here. The significant thing that you need to know is that you have a main menu over on the left side of the page, and it isolates anatomical structures by arch, mandibular features and maxillary features. There's also a quiz based upon mandible and maxilla. And those are kind of self-paced and you can fill those in and work through them yourselves. But on the mandibular features, the beauty is if you are looking for specific anatomical structures, it's going to give you an image that's going to identify that. So we're going to look at lingual foramen first. And this is a fairly easy identification. So we know that a foramen is an opening or a hole, basically. So it should be radiolucent. So you'll see this is the genial tubercle surrounding the foramen. So if we're not sure that's really what it is, you just put your mouse over the image and click it, and it will actually isolate it with these arrows. You can scroll and it will give you the featured description with any additional views. So you'll see over here, it's called the lingual foramen, an opening in the lingual midline of the mandible for a small vessel. It will help you to put the picture together better with the skull and what you're seeing radiographically. Additional views, click. It does the same thing. It gives you more images. So inferior border of the mandible. I'm going to say now this image is not a very good image for your overview because it's extremely foreshortened. So when you can see on an image where you have the occlusal cusp points and they're not superimposed directly over one another, this is what I call a squatty body. It's squished over on top of one another with the inferior border of the mandible. Click. There you go. It points it with the arrows, gives you a featured description. Inferior border of the mandible is seen in the radiograph as a uniform wide radiopaque band at the margin of the mandible. These words are significant because as you read through a test question or a board question of any kind and it's given you descriptive words like this, you know that radioopaque is going to be a more white area than a lucent area. Additional views, same thing. Clicks on this. This is an anterior image showing the mandibular border of the mandible with a canine, lateral, central, central. Canine, lateral, central, central. This is number 22. Lip line, we show here is a lip line, and if you go with the arrows, same thing. So let's go back and we're going to look at, it's going to take me all the way back. Let me just click back to the images and get to the main page. Okay, we're going to go to maxillary features. Same, it operates the same way. So let's go for nasal fossa. Nasal fossa. So we have a septum with concha. We have the Y formation. We have a concha, which is the actual opening or the sinus cavity. So feature description, nasal fossa, and it explains what everything is, and it shows you the correct wording to use. So those are significant for you to help learn along the way. Incisive foramen. Click. There you go. A foramen, you know, is an opening. Additional views. All the way. This is where the nerve runs through and exits. Yes. All right. And now that helps you navigate through the periapical images. We're going to go all the way back again, and let's just make sure that we're familiar with the panoramic anatomy as well. So, maxilla in the skull, articular eminence, articular eminence. So, we know that probably articular means ear, so you're going to look for that. It's going to be in this region somewhere. If you're not sure where it is, you click on the show feature. Now remember, it's on both sides. So additional example shows you a description also. This site is amazing. If you don't use this for study, you are creating a very disadvantaged situation for yourself. So the pterygomaxillary fissure. This is a hard one to find. It's typically this one, I think. Let's see. Yes, along with additional features. When you're studying these, it helps you to have the skull with you because you will see why things are superimposed over one another. And we may not be able to have those skulls immediately, but using a 3D image base could help you understand where that's at. I hope this has helped you to be able to navigate with this activity. Let me get all the way back to the main week 8 for you just to review again. These are all links to PowerPoints that have been shared and created with different content. We're going to open this up. The best thing to do is when you're viewing these is to download them so that you can have access to all of the drawings and everything at one moment. So this is a long one. I'm going to download it. Let's see how long it takes. Oh, excuse me, that's not the download. There we go. We're going to open this. Takes it just a minute to download because it does have 61 slides in it. This is going to be very helpful. These are tools that were shared from Dr. Priest, and he used to be actually my radiology instructor when I was in dental hygiene school. He still teaches. He was the head of the Department for Dental Diagnostic Sciences at the UT in San Antonio Dental School. So we were able to learn from some of the best, and he has collected images over the years. Ooh, that's a long one. Its graphics always take much longer, so let's just see how long it's going to take. We'll sit here and wait. We're about 2/3 way done. let's see, as you scroll through, one slide is like the image, and it's kind of like you look at it first, and when you see it in this screen, you'll see that the graphics are distorted. That's why you also need to download it. That we need to go in and look at the image, look for any abnormalities, and then it takes you to the next one showing you the irregularities. Okay, let me bring this PowerPoint over here because it's trying to open up on my other screen. I have dual monitors. So, boy, it's being slow. So we are here now. Let me pull this back across, and we're in the full screen mode. We're going to run it in slideshow mode, and again it wants to go to my other screen. Let's see if I can move my, whoops, it doesn't. Anyway, so what you're going to want to do is just make sure you go through each one. The initial one has nothing on it, and then you have the indicating areas for learning tools that you can verify what you've learned on there. So I hope this helps you, and we will talk to you soon, and let me know what else you need to be more successful. Have a good weekend.